Austin Draven, former NXT jobber, got cut. Apparently, I don't know if he's trying to do the Jesse Goddard's route or what.
That is not a name that I recognize.
Jesse Goddard's or Austin Draven?
No, Austin Draven. I know who Jesse Goddard's is. That's that Mr. Spectacular asshole, isn't it?
That's right.
Do I sound okay from back here?
Sound a little gay, but other than that,
well,
sound like one of them queer boys.
That's practically normal.
Are you going to show me your dick?
Ow.
There is an alarm going off.
Gracias.
I fear for your safety.
Okay.
Okay. I got them Audible up. Oh, shit. Disconnect. Ready when you are.
Okay.
Oh, hold on a second.
But you said you were ready.
Well, that was before Audacity decided to reset my microphone to the laptop mic.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, you would have had a fun time editing that. All right, now I'm ready.
Okay.
It's the final countdown.
We have a viewer.
Hey.
This is 205. Can't wait to see your file name for this one. 3, 2, 1, record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by Audible, the leading provider of audio content on the internet. For a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook download, go to audibletrial.com/rundown. That's audibletrial.com/rundown. This week's episode of The Rundown is also brought to you by Bray Wyatt's Photomat. At Bray Wyatt's Photomat, Bray will personally develop your pictures, taping them on a wall for all to see. Just don't expect any of the portraits to have eyes or mouths. Bray Wyatt's Photomat.
For some reason, I thought that when you first said Photomat, that it was like a dream board and not an actual...
Bray Wyatt's scrapbook. One of the creepiest things ever.
That's going to be... There you go. Podcast 1 presents Scrapbooking with Bray Wyatt.
But yeah, so you didn't watch Raw, so you don't know what's going on. But
I know he's been playing around with pictures of Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And they all had the eyes and the mouths cut out. I think Bray Wyatt was fucking the pictures.
Ooh, that's hot. Well, you know, it's shameful to have his little kid watch, so got to make sure to knock her eyes out on that one.
China followed us on Twitter this week.
Oh,
it's fairly obvious she's never listened to the show, huh?
I would say. Well, maybe she has. Maybe she's agreeing with what we say about her, that she is a prostitute with a giant dick.
All she needs to do is go all the way back in the iTunes archive to episode 42, sub-episode Alpha, the one Christmas special where Sean takes over the Rundown Studios and is finally allowed to record his review of One Night in China. And then I think she'll unfollow us. So, yeah, there's that.
Well, she likes to be abused, so it's a perfect relationship between us and her. Hey, baby. Hashtag your dick's bigger.
Theme song.
Not
Not that theme song.
Oh. I made sure my phone is now the Chris Benoit theme in 8-bit version.
So if I call you, that's the ringtone?
Yes.
Less likely to blur Darren Young's boyfriend's face than Darren Young. It's episode 205 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Thursday, June 25th, 2015. Joining me this week, Troy's here.
Jazz hands. Hello.
That's not jazz hands. That was barely even spirit fingers.
You say Darren Young and it gets me all excited.
All right. So this will be an interesting episode because Troy admitted to me before we started recording that he has not watched any wrestling this week.
Yeah, I'm like Vince McMahon.
And I have watched all of the WWE things this week, but I missed a very important thing that happened on Impact, which is not a phrase that you hear very often. A very important thing that happened on Impact. Well, there's that. But in addition to that, Jeff Jarrett, JEFF, JARRETT, returned to TNA on Friday night, on Wednesday night, whatever night Impact airs now. And apparently there is now a partnership between TNA and Global Force Wrestling. Part of the deal has been confirmed that part of the deal between Jeff Jarrett and TNA will allow TNA talents to work shows for Global Force Wrestling. It's also
there's actually still people under contract.
Yeah. Yeah, it is also noted that Jarrett's promos on TNA were not scripted and were basically shoot promos, except for the part where Jeff Jarrett talks about how he's going to win the King of the Mountain match at Slammiversary since he was always billed as the King of the Mountain.
Considering he came up with the incredibly stupid King of the Mountain.
Yeah. And repeatedly booked himself to win it. Other notes is that apparently another part of this agreement is Jeff Jarrett going into the TNA Hall of Fame. If that's a thing that still exists when Bound for Glory weekend comes around.
If TNA is this thing that still exists.
Exactly. The original plan was to bring back AJ Styles, but Styles turned down the deal as he's perfectly happy working with ROH and New Japan.
Well, I'm sure that the plan is to bring back Mick Foley and Hulk Hogan and Christian as well, but the plan to bring them back is kind of reliant on them actually wanting to work for your shitty organization.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sign Samoa Joe, and we're gonna get Dolph Ziggler when he quits. We're gonna get everybody in that damn organization that just keeps walloping us in the face. And we're going to build TNA into the greatest wrestling brand there ever was.
Because what better way to become the number one wrestling company in the world than to sign people from the number one wrestling company in the world? You're waggling your finger at me. Besides, how could you not be the number one wrestling company in the world when you're on a 4th tier cable channel?
That's right.
At least I get to watch Ring of Honor because it airs on Nessun now, so that excites me.
There you go.
So yeah, Jarrett, as we said, will be in King of the Mountain on Sunday at Slammiversary. So the announcement of him going into the Hall of Fame will probably happen during Slammiversary. Why are you so quiet? I don't know. But of course, this all depends on if TNA still has a deal with Destination America or is picked up by a new network come Bound for Glory weekend. Ugh.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Global Force Wrestling just assimilates TNA into it.
Yeah.
Just like, TNA came out of NWA. They're just going to be bought out by Jarrett. He's going to take his company back over. He'll probably publicly make Dixie Carter blow him or something like that as retribution. You want a job? Get on your knees.
You want a job? You give me a job.
Yeah. A mouth job.
Vamp while I fuck with my mic for a second. Yeah.
You need intermission music.
So that's a thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Darren Young was upset with the WWE Network for blurring his boyfriend's face during the first episode of Swerved. But they didn't blur his face during his unfiltered interview with Renee Young, which, by the way, is a good show and should have been more than 8 minutes long. But that's just me, maybe. I like unfiltered. I like Corey Graves' show too. Whatever the fuck it's called.
Spinal Injuries with Corey Graves.
I haven't I haven't watched Swerved yet, but I do plan on it because I was always a big fan of Jackass, so I'm looking forward to Swerved.
Right on.
All right. Tough Enough debuted this week. And we got to meet the 13 competitors. They all moved into the performance center.
Ooh.
And they did some physical challenges, and one guy beat everybody at everything.
And he got cut.
No, but
he will be.
They debuted their new voting system, and I think people were a little confused by it. So what happens is the live special is just in a studio at the Performance Center, at Full Sail rather, and you got Daniel Bryan, Page, and Hulk Hogan sitting behind a table, watching the show, and then they bring out all the people, all the competitors, and then each judge picks their bottom person for the week, and then the fans have to vote on which of those bottom three should stay, which is what I don't think people got because they explained it very poorly, repeatedly. Chris Jericho kept saying, and the lowest percentage vote getter will be eliminated. Instead of just saying, vote for the person you want to stay. And I think, and I want to hope that people were confused, and that's why the person who should have gotten eliminated didn't get eliminated. As we bitched about last week, the Gator wrestler from Bayou Bluff, Louisiana, got back on the show due to a fluke and shouldn't be there.
You say fluke. I say that the voting for Tough Enough is about as real as the WWE app votes. Pick the stipulation. We just happen to have a ladder right behind us here, and no matter what you're going to pick, it's going to be a ladder match.
But there's a thing during the credit sequence that says that the votes are something by a third party.
Oh, yeah, that third party also gets paid by WWE.
Either way, ZZ the Fat Fuck was in the bottom three this week, and was the first one selected for the bottom three this week because he came in dead last in the first physical challenge. He came in dead last in the morning run, and he sucked ass at the second physical challenge. And yet somehow he got the most votes, which is what makes me think that maybe people thought they were voting for who should be eliminated. But either way, that fat fuck gets to stay. Also, he was wearing floaties in a hot tub, which is weird. And he scared everyone out of the hot tub by taking his underpants off.
Ooh, hot.
No, not at all.
You got to remember that the winner of Tough Enough is voted most likely to be the next wellness violation. So I wouldn't put too much stock in it. If there's any actual real wrestlers in Tough Enough, they'll be put down to NXT or whatever like that.
Or they'll just be put down.
Or they'll be put down. Yep, they'll. I'm sorry, ZZ, but we're just gonna have to.
See, I was nice. I was doing a little injection in the neck. You went full. You went full on shotgun.
Well, I mean, you got to penetrate the skull. So.
Saturday night. Okay.
Moving right along.
Let's go to the voicemails. The episode was interesting, but it's only one episode and it's not far enough into the show yet to really hate people, except for, of course, the Brazilian bitch who shouldn't be there in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
So.
What's up, Rundown? Hey, how about WWE programming this week? It's time to get us all geared up for the push from now until the end of August when we get to SummerSlam. There's a lot of good stuff happening right now on WWE programming. Obviously, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, giving the show on Monday, giving Michael Cole a noogie and almost making him piss his pants was absolutely hilarious. I wasn't a big fan of the Authority helping out Seth because it plays into what I said last week that they don't trust Seth to go one-on-one with Brock. But it does make for compelling television because now Brock's already legit killed Jamie Noble and broke his ribs in half. So I'm sure he's going to go after the rest of the Authority and hopefully work hurt them instead of shoot hurt them, because I don't think Brock realizes what he does sometimes. But regardless, it should be a fun road to see where this takes us this time with Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman's back to cutting promos like only Paul Heyman can. There's a new shirt that says Eat, Sleep, Promo, Repeat. And on the back it says Paul Heyman is my advocate. Classic stuff. Also, really quick, I wanted to touch on the Bray Wyatt feud with Roman Reigns. For some reason, Adam doesn't like to talk about Bray Wyatt. Even when it was brought up last week, he completely glossed over it. It was like, yeah, Bray Wyatt interrupted the Money in the Bank ladder match. Great. So I don't know why Adam doesn't want to talk about Bray Wyatt. I want to talk about Bray Wyatt and this absolutely fantastic genius mind games he's playing with Roman Reigns. I love the whole anyone but you splattered across the wall. I love the whole tea party that he has set up, and then it pans out, it's just a chair moving. Bray Wyatt is fantastic. Roman Reigns needs a feud like this. Something better than the Big Show, which is always boring. This is interesting. And that's what we want. We want interesting. We want entertaining, which is why I'm still confused at why Sheamus is the Money in the Bank winner. But that's, hey, Barrett won a match this week. That's a start in the right direction. But other than that, I am very interested to see where we go over the next couple months. Starting to heat up, guys. Starting to heat up. I think WWE programming is starting to get just a little bit better. And hopefully every week, we go up instead of down, because past couple Raws have been kind of boring. But you guys want to talk about that? Have a good show. Talk to you later.
Yes. King Bear did win a match this week. It was against Zack Ryder. So that hardly counts.
In a match with putting two jobbers against each other, one must be victorious, or we'll just have a no contest and both will lose.
Yeah. But yeah, Brock Lesnar at the end of Raw injured Jamie Noble rather seriously. During the final segment on Raw, Jamie Noble appeared to be injured when Brock Lesnar slammed him into the barricade outside the ring. Noble was motionless for several moments until he was checked on by officials at ringside and eventually stretchered out.
This is a retired wrestler.
Retired by Brock Lesnar.
Yes. So I did see the best tweet in response to this, Billy Kidman. requesting to be the new member of J&J Security and then renaming it the BJ Security.
Jamie Noble taken to a local hospital via ambulance. WWE issued the following statement, quote, Jamie Noble suffered an injury at the hands of Brock Lesnar during the Beast's brawl with the Authority at the end of Raw. WWE has confirmed Noble's condition is currently being evaluated. Please stay with WWE.com for more updates as they become available.
See, I never believe it when I see those stories like WWE has confirmed this person is injured. Well, yeah, they're going to say it even if it's, kayfabe.
Yeah.
Nope. Apparently they fucked him up.
Noble himself saying, I would like to thank WWE staff and all the fans for nice messages. I have 3 broke ribs, couldn't breathe at first, and Team WWE didn't take any chances with my health. Thank you, 3 exclamation points. So yeah, Noble done got fucked up.
And that's the last time we will ever see him again. Because Brock's coming back to finish the job.
What else did he talk about? We already talked about Bray Wyatt, so we can gloss over that. I'm trying to remember that. I feel like there was something else in that voicemail. I should write things down, and I don't.
Apparently, your hatred for Bray Wyatt.
I don't hate Bray Wyatt. I couldn't read what it said on the wall, so I'm glad that he wrote that. That he spelled that out.
He wrote
anyone but you. And then I had cut all the eyes and mouths out of all the photos.
See, that the problem with Bray Wyatt, other than the fact that he never really seems to have anywhere to go, he's just kind of randomly thrown into feuds. They don't know what their end game is with him. He's not going to go for any title belts. So you instantly, have to take him out of any of those kinds of things. And honestly, at this point, his mystique has worn off. His reasonings behind attacking people don't really make sense anymore. And the guy hasn't done anything he's actually said he was going to do. He came in there trying to take over the WWE and has lost the majority of his feuds. So,
right.
I mean, and he's going to lose this one too. If they really want, Reigns to be their top babyface someday, which I'm starting to question that since they've had so many opportunities to get that title belt on him and just keep, snatching him away from him. So, yeah, I don't know.
I read a story this week from it was an unnamed WWE writer who was complaining about frustration because WWE keeps writing people into corners when it comes to these kinds of things, because nobody gets any momentum because nobody has a consistent win streak at this point. Almost every story there is I win one, then you win one, then I win one, then you win one, then I win one, and then we blow it off and you win one.
Yeah. Well, and part of it is part of this whole, like even booking shit is because of guys like Hulk Hogan in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s even, where he just decimated everybody. And if anyone did actually, pin him for a victory, he had to get his win back. That was his big thing with that all the time. So that kind of mentality is still around, and it sucks. But I mean, look at Triple H. I mean, the guy still, would constantly go back and forth on it, where it's like, okay, well, I got to make sure that I have just as many wins as I have losses to this guy, or at least one more win than this guy. And it's nobody cares. And yeah, if you legitimately want to create a contender, you got to do more than have him win one match before going into the title match, like Dean Ambrose. Ambrose wins one match, and all of a sudden he's the number one contender for it. He's going for the belt. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you're right. There's just no momentum anymore, and I don't know. There's an easy way to fix it.
Unless you're John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why, Cena beat Owens, was because they had to give him back his win, and they couldn't just have him lose 3 straight matches to the guy.
Right.
And it's not going to hurt him. What you're doing right now, doing this back and forth shit, isn't helping anyone. And if you would do it where somebody would lose a couple times in a row, you can start building storylines off of that. And you can start getting them pissed. Be like, hey, I keep fucking losing. Now's the perfect time for me to turn. Or, hey, you know, I need look at Sami Zayn's road to redemption. You know, that's a perfect example of a guy who lost a couple of matches, and all of a sudden it was like, yes, turn it into a storyline, turn it around, have him just be like, I need to get all of my wins out of the way here, and he went on a tear, and then he won the belt. And it was perfect.
Then he lost the belt a month later.
Which was great because of the storyline involved. I can forgive a short title reign as long as there's a coherent storyline heading into it. And that one was probably one of the best of the year. You know, I don't know if they still give Slammies if they're going to give Slammies for NXT guys, but that definitely beats any storyline that's been on the main roster so far, except maybe Owens and Cena, but that's not handled with the NXT writers, and that's a shame. We have our 34 writers who can't fucking get their heads out of their asses.
Yeah.
I don't want that John Cena to lose because my kid will cry. We got to make sure he's the hero.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I now, like I said earlier, now that I get to watch Ring of Honor Wrestling,
there's a big smudge on your face.
Thank you. Those are my glasses, you asshole.
Oh, no, on my screen. Over your face.
Now that I get to watch Ring of Honor, they had a storyline this past week. And I feel like I'm like a week and a half behind because the episode airs on Nessun on Sundays. So I don't really get to watch it until like a week after it's on Destination America. But anyways, there's a guy named Moose.
Yes.
And Moose was undefeated. And there's another gentleman whose name I just completely blanked on. Shit, it's not ACH. Who the fuck's that guy's name? Balls. Anyway,
Balls
it's not Balls. Balls Mahoney. Who came out on the show this past week and cut a promo saying, you know, last year around this time, I was the top prospect in Ring of Honor for 2014. Mm-hmm. And now I can't do shit to save my life, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I need to get shit going. I need to get my career back on track. I'm gonna make a name for myself here in Ring of Honor, and I'm gonna do it at my first challenge. I am challenging Moose. And Moose comes out, and they have a match, and during the entire match, Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino were like, this is the dumbest thing. Why would he challenge Moose for his first match in this road to redemption? Why would he challenge Moose, the undefeated Moose? And goddammit, he beat Moose. Mm-hmm. And it ended Moose's undefeated streak. And yeah, I mean, he used a foreign object to do it. He clocked him in the head with one of the wrenches they used to put the ring together. But and the first thing I thought of was Rusev. Mm-hmm. And how Rusev's undefeated streak ended. At the hands of a guy who didn't need to end an quote unquote undefeated streak in this case, but at the hands of a guy who didn't need to end an undefeated streak to advance any kind of story. Whereas this gentleman, whose name, and I feel like a shithead for forgetting his name.
The unbreakable Michael Elgin?
It wasn't Michael Elgin, no, it was a black guy. Whereas this guy had this story. This guy, you know, came to the ring and cut this promo. It was an impassioned promo about how he needed to get his career back together. He needed to get himself back on track and get back in the winning column and, you know, get back to the top of the company. And he started it by defeating a guy who was undefeated. And that is how you end an undefeated streak. Somebody who fucking deserves it. And that was just my thought.
Gotcha.
That's my rant for the day. And again, I feel like a shithead because I can't remember that guy's name. I'll remember it like later tonight. I'll be like, fuck, it was Kappa-Puff. Anyway. We got one more voicemail. Well, we have two more voicemails, but one for this port. Let's do. Oh, I have to download it. So I just finished watching NXT just before we started the show here.
You talking about Jay Lethal?
It wasn't Jay Lethal. No, Jay Lethal is the world and television champion.
I'm trying to think of the black guys in ROH.
Yeah. My brain wants to say Caprice Coleman, but I don't think that's right.
Cedric Alexander.
Maybe that's who it was.
Yeah, I think it was Cedric Alexander.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was watching NXT before we started the show here tonight, and one of the worst things that I've ever seen happened on NXT this week.
Dana Brooke wrestled?
Well, that too, but that's why I said one of the worst things.
Oh, sorry.
This thing happened, and Sal was so mad about it that he was like, "Oh, I wish I hadn't sent my voicemail already." I said, "Send another one. I don't give a shit." So this. I haven't listened to this yet, but here we are. Let's do it. I'm doing it this way. This one.
So I was watching NXT, and I typically tend to enjoy NXT, and no matter what they show on NXT, whether it's the Vaudevillains or well, they don't show the Vaudevillains that much, or maybe it's Samoa Joe. Well, they don't show Samoa Joe that much either. Typically, I like NXT. Typically, even with Dana Brooke there, typically NXT has not been bad. But this week's episode of NXT was horrifically bad. It was so bad that Dana Brooke looked worse than Eva Marie in her match. And then, out of nowhere, we get a new tag team, which I should have saw coming, but I was praying to God they didn't do it, called The Hype Bros.
Mm-hmm.
With Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. And here's the thing. I was joking with one of my friends that, pretty soon we're going to see Mojo Rawley partying with Rob Gronkowski because that's the kind of tool bag he is. And lo and behold, as soon as I say that, literally as soon as I say that, the NXT commentators are like,
literally.
Yeah, Mojo's got his clique here, the Hype Clique. And a couple weeks ago, we saw Rob Gronkowski out here supporting that. And I'm like, wait, I was just kidding. Mojo Rawley is such a tool bag. He actually got this black eye paint under his eye like he plays in the NFL. Like,
he used to.
Wow. NXT used to be like the best thing in the world. I don't know. After Finn Balor, Zayn, Owens, Hideo Itami, what do they have when those guys get called up for good? Obviously, Owens pretty much there. Zayn was there if he didn't get hurt. Once Finn goes, what does NXT have left? They have Mojo Rawley, and they have Tyler Breeze, who's been there for like 5 years. And I don't know. They have Solomon Crow. He's okay. He's not bad. But he again wasn't even on this week. So I don't know. Right now it's definitely not the same as it was 6 months ago. But I'll talk to you guys later.
Well, you forgot about Tyler Breeze, I think.
He said Tyler Breeze said he's been there for 5 years. I'll tell you what they've got after those guys. They do have the Vaudevillains.
Yep.
They have a fantastic women's division, which he completely didn't mention at all.
Yep.
And Rhino has been tremendous down there. They have a lot of really good athletes. Obviously, they've got the realest G's. They have a wealth of talent. You do have to understand that.
That's funny. I thought you said really good athletes, and then you said they're Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy.
No. Enzo Amore is a really good athlete. Colin Cassidy's just a tall dude.
But, and you can't teach that.
You can't teach that. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm cool with with him being upset about the whole Mojo Rawley thing. Mojo Rawley does suck.
Mojo Rawley sucks ass.
You do have to get your facts straight though. He did play in the NFL for 3 years, so him wearing the eye paint, that's okay because he actually legitimately could. It'd be like if The Rock showed up with eye paint or something like that. That's a guy who actually played football at one point in time. Yeah, him teaming up with Ryder, whatever. It's not like we're going to see them. Fingers crossed, we're not going to see them win the tag team championships. This is just to try to get Mojo Rawley back with the crowd, and he was over, at Full Sail. But the guy sucks. But Hey, you know what? I mean, there are plenty of guys in the WWE that sucks. I mean, after Rollins, Ambrose, and a handful of guys in WWE, what do you have? You get Adam Rose. So, it can't be fantastic top to bottom, because then you'd be asking, well, why the hell aren't they pushing, this guy who's way down the card? Well, it's because there's so many great people above him. And that's, kind of the problem that happens with Ziggler. Ziggler's a great wrestler, but there's so many people that are above him that are always going to get the opportunities before he does.
All right. Now, taking a brief time out here, because joining us just in time to hear us bitch about Mojo Rawley, straight directly from his, I'm gonna guess, 18-day bus trip from New York to Los Angeles. Tom is back.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Yeah, and I've done that trip cross country in 52 hours. So 18 days, that's a lot of sightseeing, man.
I just remember taking like a Greyhound from New Hampshire to Illinois, and that took like 3 days. So.
Damn. Well, then you can't be a professional wrestler because you don't know road travel very well, do you? You know the rule that you got to stay awake when your partner's driving, right? You probably did not follow that with your bus driver.
You never know what that bus driver's going to do. You fall asleep.
I don't think the Greyhound driver is allowed to draw dicks on your face.
Yeah, he'll just reach back behind him there. Oh, so I gotta get the stick shift in. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys are talking NXT and the division. You said the women's division in NXT. Aren't they prepping to bring a bunch of people up though? Isn't that the whole thing with Paige? What they're doing?
Yeah, there have been some rumors about that. Definitely Charlotte. Possibly Sasha Banks, maybe Bayley, but even the younger ones that are coming up under them. I mean, Becky Lynch has been great. Blue Pants seems to be really catching on there if they actually would give her a name and any kind of coherent storyline. I know everyone hates Dana Brooke, but I mean she has to be included in that because the hope is she's going to get better. But you still have Alexa Bliss down there. She's probably not going anywhere because she's got her little Banff buddies. And then
Factor, by the way, the F stands for Factor. The Blake Alexa Murphy Factor.
Oh, I thought it was Fucktrio.
No,
That's just what you think.
That's what I hope.
That's what you want.
Well, I mean, you got Sarah Del Rey training them, so
yeah.
You better expect high results from her. So.
Yeah.
And then you've got Ava Marie.
Yeah,
who was on NXT this week, who went to Commissioner Regal's office to tell her, I would really like a match with the greatest divas in NXT, the Divas division in NXT. I would like a match, please. A match. I would like.
I am going to reserve a little judgment until I do see that she's made some kind of improvement in the ring. I'm not. Look, she was terrible before.
Yeah.
But you know what? As much as I love Alexa Bliss, she was very green when she started, and now she looks like a far better competent wrestler just a year with Sarah Del Rey. So Spanky can do some wonders. So I'm going to hold off judgment. Now, she's a terrible person. I have no doubts about it that she is a raging cunt. But you know what? So is Randy Orton, and he can wrestle. So, like I said, I'll hold off judgment until I see an actual match with her. Maybe busting one of her titties open was one of the best things that could have happened for her. Sounds like Windows 97 just started up on Tom's computer. So.
Yeah, I was trying to actually turn that computer off, but yeah, it's hopefully she improves. I haven't seen much of her when she was up in WWE. To be honest, I wasn't watching the product much back then. But I've heard horror stories.
She came in for Total Divas. They brought her in solely for Total Divas, and she had 2 matches?
I think so, yeah.
And both of them were the shits.
Yeah,
we're talking like Jackie Gata level the shits.
Like that Sharmell Jenna Marasco match in TNA back then.
There you go.
Road 09.
There you go. Let's put it this way: Eva Marie took a bump off the side of the ring, and it was the worst bump ever. She gets hit and then goes like slowly down, and it's like, oh no, I fell.
Yeah, we're talking Bull Dempsey on a 6-day Taco Bell bender. The shits.
There you go. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, she's had some time off. She's definitely been doing some training. They realized, hey, you know, we gotta do something with this bitch. We can't just have her, you know, be one of the twaddle divas and that be it. And we've already got a ring announcer who's terrible from that show as well. So
Yep.
We weren't gonna replace her either. So yeah, we'll see. You put her, but honestly, you put her in the ring with the right people, and you're gonna get at least a halfway decent match out of her. You know, you put her in there with Becky, Sasha, someone like that they can take the reins on it. They'll at least make her look a little bit more competent, but we'll see. I am worried about the inevitable Dana Brooke Eva Marie match.
Maybe they'll going to sell out Madison Square Gardens.
That's right.
Maybe they'll team them up so we don't have to worry about them fighting each other for a while.
There you go.
Going back a moment and speaking of Bull Dempsey, the Bull Dempsey fat fuck train was in full effect on this week's episode of NXT, including a glorious slideshow of Bull Dempsey in various people's chairs, and in every picture, his shirt was up over his belly and his hands were on his stomach, and he was either passed out or there was like a sub sandwich and some chips on his chest. Like, honestly, we talked about it when it first happened. Bull Dempsey fat fuck is not a thing that needs to happen.
I am interested to see what they're going to do with it, though. That's the sad part. I shouldn't be. I should be like, this is the worst fucking thing ever. This guy's going to be cut in 5 days. But I'm interested to see what they're going to do. It's tailor-made for a Tyler Breeze feud, that's for sure.
well, wasn't his match against Tyler Breeze that started this, though?
Yes. That's why it's perfect. You keep having Tyler Breeze come out and call him a fat fuck, call him ugly. I mean, you at least got something for them to do for a little bit. We got another week before we get a new champion in NXT.
Spoiler
alert. Maybe.
By the way, apparently we misquoted the time on that when we talked about that July 4th special. That airs at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, July 4th.
Set your clocks, people.
So, honestly, why not get up for it? I mean, if you're on the West Coast like Tom is, you don't even have to go to sleep.
That's right.
Because if you're in California, that's on at 1:30. You'll be up anyways. But those of us on the East Coast,
I used to get off work at that time, so yeah.
You have to go to bed at like 4 o'clock to get up in time for that.
So that's WWE's new pay-per-view, WWE Third Shift.
Yeah. Yeah. But that'll be fun. They have made some changes to the card because of injuries, like we talked about. There is no more WWE tag title match. It's now just the New Day versus the Lucha Dragons.
Wow. Were they not going to allow Darren Young into Tokyo, or what? Oh no, we don't like the homosexuals. No. I
don't know how China feels about homosexuals.
I almost said I'm not sure if you were making fun of the fact that I almost said China, or if you legitimately just called Japan China.
I'm exhausted. I don't know.
Okay, because I almost said it because I'm exhausted, and then you did say it. Racists.
I think I was just going off. You almost said, "You goddamn Mongolians! You burned down my shitty wall." Oh, hello. Okay,
like that.
Come in.
I don't know what this is, so.
Speaking of people who haven't been on WWE TV for a while, Brad Maddox made an appearance at a house show in Las Vegas this week.
How is he still employed?
However, he proceeded to completely confuse some of the fans because apparently his ring gear very closely resembled that of CM Punk. Apparently some people confused him with the real CM Punk and thought that he was making a surprise appearance.
You do realize they look differently, right? People, look at his face. Look at his body. He's got no tattoos.
White people all look alike.
During the event, some fans in attendance did apparently started a light CM Punk chant. It did not last for long. Also, Maddox did not come out to Punk's theme music. So there was that. In addition, before the match, Maddox said that people forgot who he was and apparently reportedly wrestled his style more reminiscent of Punk, using a lot of kicks and more of an MMA style than in his previous match.
Oh, how awesome! How awesome would it be if his new gimmick is BM Punk?
I actually titled I put little titles for each section so I know where the news stories start and stop, and I did label this one C Maddox Punk.
I know. BM Punk.
BM.
So these are the same people that get the two members of the New Day confused then too, I take it. Well, they were the same band. They both have the same skin tone.
Racist.
If they can do black magic, then yeah. Again, Brad Maddox has no tattoos, so unless CM Punk spent a lot of money to get every tattoo lasered off his body, then got plastic surgery to make his face look differently, I'm gonna say you guys are idiots.
I'm gonna say that happened.
There you go.
He's got his money.
I'm gonna say that happened, and you guys are idiots.
He's come back. He's got a fake mustache on. That's his new character. I'm not CM Punk. I'm DM Punk. I didn't quit.
Now that you do, when you're doing this, that makes me want him to come back with the vaudevillains and have just like a curly, like handlebar mustache that he just twirls constantly
with a top hat and a cane. Maybe a monocle.
I am Commodore Punk.
The biggest shame about CM Punk leaving was just we can't have him as an announcer even in like 10 years. You know,
he was amazing as an announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Instead, we get another 10 years of Booker T. What the hell?
Although I will credit Tough Enough for getting him off Raw.
There you go.
Hooray! Thanks, Byron Saxton.
Yeah. Now, if only we could get Jerry Lawler off. Oh, wait.
Phrasing?
This isn't the 90s.
Ooh, that's right.
All you need is a teenage girl. And 5 minutes.
Mm.
And 4.5 of that is a cleanup.
Yeah.
Ew. Don't picture that in your mind too hard.
We're giving them enough time too.
Yeah. I want everyone to take a minute now to think about Jerry Lawler. Think about him spread out on a bearskin rug, naked.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened on this show.
Now, think of him seductively sliding up to, I don't know, Stephanie McMahon's daughter. Now think of him saying, "You want a pile driver, sweetie?"
When he comes, do you think it's just dust?
Ugh.
All right. Moving on. Also injured this week. There was a house show on June 19th in Saginaw, Michigan. Reports out of that show were that Eric Rowan suffered some sort of injury in his match against Cesaro. Turns out it was a torn biceps muscle, and he will be out for at least 4 months, if not 6.
Aww.
So, which kind of sucks because apparently they were finally starting to put them into the tag title scene, and now Harper's on his own.
Yeah, and that pretty much kills any chance of Team 3D feuding with them.
Right, yeah. Maybe when they come back, maybe. But probably not.
But Devon will probably be dead by then.
So what we need to do is team up. We can have a new stable of Harper and Cesaro and whichever fucking Uso that is. And they can all be a stable whose partners are injured until their partners come back.
Oh, Tyson Kidd's injured? That's why my Raw has been about 20 minutes later every week.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Tyson Kidd and his, what was it? Slightly severed spinal cord.
Yeah, slightly severed spinal cord. You could probably throw Stardust in there too, since Goldust is injured. Although they weren't technically not together anymore.
Yeah, they broke up.
Oh, we can throw in Joey Mercury in there now.
Yeah, Jamie Noble just disappeared at the end of Raw, so
yeah, we talked about that before you got here. He's got 3 broke ribs.
We got 3 broke ribs. That Brock Lesnar hurt me.
Anybody got anything else to talk about?
Nope.
I've been enjoying Raw with Dean Ambrose at the top of it, but it stopped. So,
Is it me? Speaking of Raw, is it me? Is it me, or is Kane getting shittier and shittier in the ring as time goes on?
I could see that.
Like him at Money in the Bank, some of the bumps he took at Money in the Bank were pathetic, and then the choke slam on Raw just looked like shit.
He's still in good shape too, which is what kind of worries me, because he's in better shape than he has been in the past. But for sure, yeah.
Like he took, I want to say it was like a DDT that he took at Money in the Bank, and you could see like it was completely forearms, and his head, like when he landed the DDT, his head was like a foot off the canvas, and he just like and then he rolled out of the ring. Like, come on, bro.
Oh,
How long have you been doing this?
Well, he's worried about busting up his teeth since he can't fix them anymore.
Oh. If I crack one tooth, they're gonna turn me back into that fucking Isaac Yankem. Apparently, if you ever want to stop an interview with Kane, just bring up Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, and he will leave.
Good to know. That's a good way to get Kane out of the room.
There you go.
I have nothing else to talk about.
Next time he inserts himself in a match, they should just be like, "You can be in the match, but only
as Isaac Yankem."
As Isaac Yankem, and he'll just walk out and be like, "Okay, well, we took care of that."
That would be hysterical.
I sense you're trying to end the show.
No, I have nothing else to talk about. So we could do trivia, but or we could not. I don't care. We can have a short show this week. It's only 49 minutes so far. I'm good with that. Tom was nice enough to show up for the last 10 minutes. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I showed up when I got here.
Yep.
Not like the other guys.
Ooh, biggity burn.
Yeah, fuck you, Andy.
Yeah, fuck you, Andy.
Dick. Yeah. So, that does it for the rundown for this Thursday, June the 25th, 2015. 208 days since Nikki Bella won the WWE Divas Championship. It's a goddamn shame. Go to audibletrial.com/rundown for a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial. Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Star Clash 2 at the Elks Lodge in Hudson, Massachusetts tomorrow night, June 26th. Go to luckyprowrestling.com. APW returns Sunday, July 26th at Newburyport Old Homecoming. Elkamania 3 is coming on September 26th. And Liberty States returns at some point in October. Yay. Follow me on Twitter at Rundown Podcast, where I live tweet Raw and Tough Enough when I watch it, and whatever else I watch when I watch. Send your feedback, send your catchphrase suggestions, send your fake sponsors, or if you want to be a real sponsor, send $50 to rundownwrestling@gmail.com, and I'll say whatever you want. Sponsor. Leave us a voicemail, like Sal does, at 206-202-6478.
Make sure you're really high before you do.
Or I think for the second one, in a bathroom somewhere. It seemed a little echoey to me. That's 206-20.
Angst.
Like us on Facebook and tell your parents to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. To make a donation of the monetary variety, go to rundown.podomatic.com and click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the screen. Go to youtube.com/rundownpodcast to watch archived episodes, and circle me on Google Plus at google.com/+AdamRundownHost. Buy some poetry at tinyurl.com/distanthorizons. Go to shadowvane.net for information on another fantastic podcast, or you can support them at patreon.com. That's Patreon, patreon.com/shadowvane. I've contemplated doing a Patreon for this show, but I don't have anything to give away as a perk. So that's
I can come up with some stuff.
Handies don't count.
Oh, sorry. Win this signed empty bottle of Miller Genuine Draft that was drank live on the show.
You're gonna have to Greek that. We can't afford that.
Oh, sorry. Win this bottle of some kind of genuine draft beer.
Biller Genuine Draft.
Yeah.
Tom, talk about your podcast.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Fridays, every Friday, every Saturday, Friday 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. If you want to play a fake wrestling hobby where you write your own fictional character and try to do this better than WWE, tune in, learn how to play this game, and yeah, it's a whole different way to enjoy wrestling, I guess. eFed Gorillas, Mixler.com/eFed Gorillas or blogtalkradio.com/eFed Gorillas, and we're on iTunes, Stitcher, all those other crap, which I'm sure you are as well.
Troy, plug your podcast. Oh, wait.
Aw.
It's this one, Rundown Wrestling.
Search for us on iTunes under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, you cheap bastards, go to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review, because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, we will read your name and your review at the end of a future episode. I finally decided to check the dates. We have not had a review on iTunes in almost a year, so get with it, you bastards. You like how I ask people to give me money and then I call them cheap fucks and bastards? Maybe that's why.
That can't be it.
Something to grow on. It's one to grow on. We're also available on Stitcher at Stitcher.com or the Stitcher app on your iOS or Android device. Also free. But all you got to download is the app. Choose from your favorite of tens of thousands of podcasts, but why would you listen to anyone other than this one? I mean, really. I mean, really, really. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to our one viewer on the side who didn't say anything this week.
Bitch.
Thanks. They're not there anymore. Thanks to Troy.
Thank you.
And to Tom.
Of course.
And thanks to I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song. Next week, more bitching about Tough Enough, probably. And hopefully at least one of my co-hosts next week will have actually watched some programming during the week. And
I will.
Other than that, I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't even know who's going to be on.
Yeah. I'll be there. Forever and ever.
Aw. So tune in next week for an all-new, all-surprise episode of the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. And, of course, Jacob, good night and good luck. And Fawn, Don, go fuck yourself. Stop. In the name of love.
Hit the record button again. That's not going to stop it. It might be time to go to bed early tonight.
Before you break my heart.
Give it a...
Oops. All right. My neck hurts. Ow.
Is that you?
Yes, that is Tom's podcast.
All right. I just subscribed, so
Nice.
I'll check it out. Because I love wrestling games. That's exactly where we got the slightly severed spinal cord for Tyson Kidd, because I play TEW 2013, and that was one of the injuries that occurred to my Tyson Kidd on there. So
I can't imagine it being slightly severed would be any real better than severed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, this is role play wrestling.
I'm cool with that too.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Playing.
It's what it is. It's fun.
Right on.
how-
I'll check it out.
That's how
So I figured
Tom.
we were off the air, so I stopped my recording.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta bring spaghetti. I'm gonna stop the broadcast now, so I'm gonna say goodbye to YouTube's.
Goodbye,
And
everyone who's not
goodbye-
watching.
Goodbye to the Google Plus, and say goodbye to the 3 viewers that this will get on YouTube when people click it accidentally thinking it's something else.
Oh, you actually keep the video.
Yeah, when you do these live hangouts, it automatically posts to the YouTube page.
I gotta remember not to actually smoke on camera then.
It's not a real cigarette. Nobody cares.